All right. Bless the Lord. I thank God.
Yes, sir.
I thank God because I got this is a pretty full house. Well, not full house, but I mean, there's a lot of people here today. Because not as many people come out on Tuesday night, nobody's going to know that I'm piggybacking on Elder Williams' teaching from a few months ago. If I had told you, you wouldn't even know. I'll piggyback on something he said that rested with me. We're going to look at the first edition of Psalms. I'm going to start by just describing something that I experienced recently. I was asking myself a question. And it really struck me that there are a lot of people that I encounter. I even encountered in my job at the hotel. I work the front desk. I deal with the people all the time. I see them come and go. I have really been struck recently how many people look unhappy when you meet them.
All right.
How many really unhappy people there seem to be walking around. And I think I even encountered it, dare I say, in the church. How many unhappy people that you actually can see sometimes in the church. People don't seem like they're content. Seems like people have a wave of dissatisfaction that runs over them.
All right.
At least if you were to judge it from the outward countenance. And I did wonder what that was about somewhat. Yeah. It just seems like it's in the air. It's in the air. Now, look, these are tough times that we're in right now. A lot of things going on, a lot of troubles, a lot of problems. None of us can be ignorant to that. I mean, you just turn on the news, you see a lot of the reason why. People frustrated, people fighting, lots of arguments. People feel unsure, don't know what's going on. Can't get on the Obamacare website. People frustrated, they're upset, tight. Now, I understand. But there is a key to happiness.
All right.
All right.
There's an answer. And I know a lot of people talk about see in the church we really got pious at some point and started talking about, well, I may not be happy, but I have joy. It won't necessarily show on my face, but I've had the joy of the Lord. Well, with the joy of the Lord, sometimes there's some leaping and there's some there's some holy laughter. So I know the two aren't identical. I know they're not identical, but I said, yeah, you should be happy sometime. You should be happy sometime, especially in situations that call for happiness. You know, situations that really call out for you to be demonstrating that you're enjoying what you're doing. Enjoying what you're doing. I think everybody who's ever been a cook, there's some cooks in the middle, we've been talking about Brother Cobb. If you cook for people and then sit down with them to eat, and on their faces there are sour looks, it makes it hard to feel that they appreciate what you made. I watch my son all the time when I cook. What's he going to do now? Because he seems happy when Mom cooking, he don't seem that happy. I know. Phil, I'm not as good as you. I admit that. I'm not a natural chef. I'm not like Chef Boyardee. I can't even think of a chef's name when I want one. I can't even think. I'm not natural in the gifting of it, but I can make the emerald. Thank you. Yeah, he got those cans of food with his face on it. Yeah. I'm not gifted, perhaps, but I can make a decent. I can throw together something.
All right.
Look at that boy. Look, sometimes like it's suffering to eat that food. He's smart enough to know he got to eat it. He look like he's suffering. It makes me have an attitude. Well, look. We look for people to show forth that they have. We're coming up on Thanksgiving.
Right.
We look for people to be showing that they have gratitude for what you do. If Deacon Stanley was here, I can make mention even with his absence. He gave a beautiful testimony about coming back from the war and riding the train going into the South, going across the Mason-Dixon line.
That's right.
And they didn't want him to be in the sleeping car anymore. They were going to kick him off to where they kept the colored people, colored section of the train. And he wondered what was that about, because he had paid his ticket. The government had billeted him some funds to buy the ticket. And he was wearing his uniform because he was going to report. And he's going to report there in Florida. And what he felt at that moment was that feeling of dissatisfaction that comes when you realize people aren't they have no gratitude for what you've done. If you can't receive your warriors, your soldiers that help protect you, I understand why some of those Vietnam veterans went crazy. They said, we make fun of them. You know, they make movies about them. They were all nuts. But you know, they did have a lot of trouble. They did come back with a lot of problems. They did have post-traumatic stress disorder and all that. But you know what also they came back to? They came back to a nation that didn't want to recognize what they had done.
That's right.
Talked about them, called them baby murderers, rather than saying, thank you. There wasn't gratitude. There was no reaction.
Yes.
And to be honest, they came back to the nation when it was all torn up too, because it was midst of Watergate and everybody was mad. So they even mad at the soldiers coming back. Otherwise, my mind is flying in different ways, but I'm just saying, in general, you look for people to show forth that they're happy to see you. I love there's a little town called Bangor, Maine, and apparently when a lot of the soldiers are coming back from overseas, the town of Bangor, these are volunteers, these are not people employed by the federal government. The town of Bangor has groups of people that like to go to the airport when they know a military plane is coming in. And they like to have their little banners and flags and stuff. And when the soldiers get off, they don't even know where they're necessarily coming from. They might be coming from permanent bases that are in Korea. They might be coming back from Afghanistan. But when the soldiers come back, they like to go, no! So the people feel like they really appreciate us. Oh my God. There's a group of me. They don't even know who I am. And they're here to greet me.
Yes.
It matters to people. It matters to people that you show appreciation. And it matters to people that you show that you're happy about something. You're showing some pleasantry. But what is the problem? Why are we in a time that seems it got everybody with a upside down frown? Well, I was looking at Psalm 1, and I said, and it seemed to speak to me again, and I am picking back on a little bit of a lesson that Elder Williams had taught, so it might sound familiar to him. But let's take a look, if we can, at the first Psalm.
All right.